I really wanted to create this lecture on how to create table of contents quickly because a lot of times when I go into my stand-up instructor-led classes, I see that a lot of my students with their work, they have long documents. And I ask them, as far as navigating goes, why don't they create a table of contents? And 9 times out of 10, the answer is because it's too hard to do. And I'm here to tell you that it's not. That is, as long as you have headings applied to your documents. Now, if you're not familiar with headings or you just want a refresher, there is a section in this course on styles, which does cover headings. Now, this document is 16 pages long, and let me bring up my navigation pane. And you saw this in a previous lecture. I'm going to go ahead and just do a Ctrl F and go over to headings. Let me deselect that real quick. So you can see here there are a ton of headings here in this document. Heading 1, heading 2, there's even a couple of heading 3s. So this is what my table of contents is going to be based off of. All right, let me close my navigation pane real quick. And I want to show you how easy it is to create and how easy it is to update your table of contents. So after this class, after today, you have no excuse not to use one. Unless, of course, you just really don't need one. All right, so I'm on page 1 here, and the first thing I'm going to do is to create a new page. So right before my E in executive summary, I'll go ahead and put my mouse. And you need to add in a page break. Now you can go into the insert tab to add a page break. I've got my page break little icon on my quick access toolbar there because I use it a lot. Or you can Control Enter on your keyboard. Control Enter. That's the keyboard shortcut for page breaks. All right, now let me go up to this new page right up there at the top. My cursor is blinking. And I now have 17 pages. And this is where I want to put my table of contents. And let me show you just how fast it is. So make sure you're in the References tab of the ribbon. And all the way on the left-hand side, right there is the button for Table of Contents. So from the drop down, you just give a click. And I always choose one of the automatic table of contents. Now, the difference between the two is that one has a header of contents, the other has a header of table of contents. It's up to you. And you can actually go in and change that to read whatever you want it to read after it's created. And then you'll see there's a third option there. It's for a manual table of contents. And this is manual. Word is not going to use your headings that you've created that I just showed you from the navigation pane. Word doesn't use those to create the table of contents. And you also won't be able to update it automatically. Okay, Word's just going to use placeholder text, some dummy text. If you actually take a look at manual table, you'll see there's some dummy text in there. It says type chapter number level 1, type chapter title level 2. I can barely read that. So it's just dummy text. And you're going to have to update this manually. All right, so I'm going to choose the second one here that says table of contents. Just give a click. Done. That was it. That fast. There's the table of contents. It can't get any faster than that. And like I said, if you don't want it to say table of contents, if you want it to say inside this document, it's just text. You can just type in inside this document, whatever you want it to say. So look, it's all based off your headings. Again, if I open up my navigation pane, I can see that it's the exact same thing. And let's talk about updating real quick. I said it's really easy to update your table of contents. So you can see that the mission statement here is on page 2, but for some reason, if I move the mission statement down, say underneath location, which location's on page 3, and I go back up to my table of contents, see right now it still says that mission statement is on page 2. Up here at the top with my table of contents selected, I want to, let me select it again, I want to update table. And what I normally do is I update the entire table. You can see there's update page numbers only. I want to update the entire table and click on OK. So mission statement has moved out of the executive summary and it's down here underneath description. It is on page 5. All right, so you see that's super Super, super fast, super easy to create a table of contents. So why do I have the table of contents here in the navigation section of this lecture? So if you print this out, it'll be great for your readers because they can look at this page and say, oh, mission statements on page 5, and then just flip through page 5. But if you actually send this to someone and they need to go to the mission statement and they're using Word, what they can do is they can Control click. See how my cursor turned into the finger, indicating that this is a hyperlink? They can Control click on mission statement and it drops them right down there. This is why I have table of contents under the navigation section for this lecture. If you Control click on it, it takes you right to that section. All right, so that's creating an automatic table of contents. If you want to, you can even customize it a little bit from either this drop down here on the top left or from your table of contents button in the references tab. I'm going to actually remove the table of contents, which is the last button here. And this time I'll add in a custom table of contents. And you can tell the system how you want it to look. Yes, I want to see page numbers. Yes, I want them right aligned, but maybe instead of my dots as leaders, I want dash lines. As far as the formatting goes, maybe I want it to be fancy. There we go. Or distinctive. There's modern. You check it out. You see what you like. I'll change it back to fancy. And I have my leaders again. Let me make sure I've got dash lines. You can see how it changes. And I'll click on OK. All right. So there is my custom table of contents. And when I click on it, Control click, it takes me right to where I need to go. Control click on location, takes me right down to location. All right, so I never want to hear you say that creating a table of contents is hard to do. As long as you have your headings set up in your document, it takes literally less than 4 seconds.